CCR TV, channel of God's love. A warm welcome to all our viewers on this another episode of In Conversation with. Tourism is a major industry in Goa. It not only generates employment but is the major revenue earning industry after the closure of mining activity. Majority of the tourists, whether foreign or domestic, who visit Goa during the tourism season are concentrated along the coastal areas from the north to the south of Goa. With a coastline of nearly 105 kilometers, Goa is recognized across the globe as the best beach destination on the west coast of India. What has made Goan beaches world famous ever since the early 70s are the beach shacks on the seafront known for the exquisite seafood and the Goan cuisine. But everything is not so rosy and not so cozy for the tourism industry this year. The Christmas season in Goa is the peak time for tourists, both foreign and domestic, to patronize these unique eating places located along the beach coast. The talk of town in the new year is, this year the tourist arrivals are much below expectation. Business in entire coastal belt of Goa, whether it's the north or it's the south, was pretty low during Christmas and New Year time. Shack owners are reluctant to erect the shacks despite having the NOCs and even having paid the fixed fees to the government. They are uncertain of what lies ahead. The industry is looking at a very bleak future due to less footfalls during the month of December 2023 and at the New Year's time. Those in the shack business are disappointed, and this year the arrival of foreign charter tourists who are big spenders has been very, very low. We have today in our studios Sri John Lobo, the secretary of the Shack Owners Welfare Society, and John will throw some light on the overall situation that is affecting our shack owners in the entire coastal belt of Goa. Mr. John, a warm welcome to you to our studios.
Thank you very much for inviting me to your studios. I'm grateful that our issues will be resolved once they are highlighted on this channel.
Yes, that is what we are looking at, because the shack business has been the focal point of tourism in Goa for so many years.
Yes.
It is something different that you don't find anywhere else. John, to begin with, so that our viewers are also aware and are enlightened, tell us something about this welfare society. When it was formed, how many members you have, what is the objective of this welfare association or society of yours, and what work does it does? Briefly give us in a nutshell.
So we started this association in the year 1994 when we heard that there was a problem that the shacks would not come up on Goan beaches. The main point was that there was this CRZ issue which did not permit shacks on the beach. So we got together and formed something called the All Goa Shack Owners Association. And this association went on from 94 until 2004. In 2004, September 2004, we formed something called the Shack Owners Welfare Society Goa. And this society was formed keeping in mind that the Goan people are getting displaced. The Goans are not getting their right to livelihood on the beaches of Goa, and there was vested interest to destroy our business. So our main motto of the association society is to fight with the government and other authorities who are trying to deprive us of our livelihood on the beach.
So, taking all this into consideration, it is this body that stands by the stakeholders in the shack business. That is what you want to say, exactly,
yes,
right?
Yeah, and we have about
how many members?
We have more than 320 members.
So, all across Goa.
Yeah,
north
we
and south.
we represent the whole of Goa, not
Yeah.
in South Goa.
Now, tell me, John, the tourism season, officially begins in Goa on 1st of September.
Yes, that's right.
on paper at least.
Yeah.
And then with all the legal formalities, all the procedures that have been done, no sooner it is announced. I think the shacks are normally getting erected on the beachfronts by the month of October.
Yeah.
But what happened this time? This time nothing was coming up till the beginning of December.
In the first place, I would like to make a small correction. As you said, the tourism season begins in October. Now, Goa is
September.
September, October. But now, Goa is 365 days tourism.
Yes.
So we cannot say it begins only in September, but it's all 365 days.
No, what I meant to say was the fair season tourism.
Okay, yeah.
Then we also have the monsoon tourism.
Yeah.
Let us leave that monsoon tourism aside.
Okay.
Let us concentrate on the fair season tourism that begins from September.
Yeah.
Right?
So
So what happened this time that till December, many of the beach, the shacks were not up.
Earlier, every year they used to form a policy for the shacks. But during Manohar Parikar's time, he framed a new policy for 3 years. And this 3-year policy went on for the last 3 terms.
Okay.
So, present and earlier government, when Manohar Asgaonkar was the tourism minister, he issued the licenses in September. But the present government delayed the policy until November. We had given many representations to the government, allotment by May, and the policy should be done by March, April. But the government did not listen to us. But they kept on delaying the whole thing, and they took it forward to September, October. Even in October, the policy was not ready. There were a lot of hiccups in the policy.
You said the government did not listen to us.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes,
If
that's
I
right.
may use the
Yes.
exact
Yes.
terminology.
Yeah.
But why is that government is not listening to the stakeholders, and what could be the reason for late declaration of the policy?
See,
If you had made an appeal to declare that thing on time so that you all get a window period to do all the formalities and erect the shacks on time.
as I said earlier, we started this association in '94 because there were issues with the shack thing. And we later on came to know the reason for saying that there's a CRZ law that would keep the shacks away from the beach. We realized that it was not the CRZ policy, but it was some lobby that was behind this. It was a bigger 5-star lobby which did not want the shacks to come up on the beach because the tourist would be on the beach the whole day, spend money on the beach the whole day, whereas the hoteliers would get the tourists to Goa and they would only pay for their hotel stay, but not for the food and drinks, because these food and drinks went to the beach daytime, and in the evening the people would go walk along the streets and go to the local restaurants along the streets. So they would not eat in their hotels.
So you think this kind of situation is still prevalent now
Yes.
in this present situation?
Yes, yes.
This year, this season?
Yes, it is still there.
It is continuing.
It is continuing. So the more delay there is in allotment and giving the shacks on the beach on time, like in September, October, they make more money.
So, Mr. John, you are making a very serious statement that there is a lobby behind this to delay the thing. Okay, am I
Yes.
right? Now, that is one part of it. Now, after having allotted also, some of the shack owners, stakeholders are already allotted and they have got the NOC.
Yeah.
They had also got the provisional, permits to
Licenses.
erect the
Yeah.
licenses, to erect the shack, pending the other formalities.
Yes.
But yet some of them are not willing to erect their shacks. What could be the reason?
The reason is, in the first place, we have lost out on 2 months of business. And when you lose out on 2 months of business, you don't have income in your hand to carry on with the next procedure. Now, we were in December, end of December, and still the government was dilly-dallying on the issuing of the permits. Once the permits were issued, we realized that there was a lot of harassment coming from the Pollution Control Board for issuing consent to operate. Now, we are in January, and still up to now, the Pollution Control Board has not given anyone, any shack on the government property consent to operate, which means that all the shacks in Goa are illegally
operating
Yeah.
as
And-
of now.
Yeah, and I think so. The aim of the Pollution Control Board is to finish the shack business on the beach, because last year the High Court, Honorable High Court said, if they don't have pollution consent to operate, they should be sealed. So we applied in the month of November, I think so. and our consent to operate was only given in the month of March, when the court said check the everything consent to operate, and we did not have, because it was a delay technique of the Pollution Control Board not to issue, and they are following the same procedure. If someone approaches the court now, right now,
The checks will be sealed.
yes, and this is what the some authorities want.
Have you brought this particular situation to the knowledge of the department,
Yes,
tourism
we
department,
have-
and the
yes,
government?
yes, we have brought
Has
this-
your welfare association represented the case in writing?
Yes, we have given one letter to the environment minister in writing, but we have approached the director of tourism, we have approached the chairman of the pollution control board, and up to now they are not doing anything.
Now, what is the idea behind this delay in giving the consent to operate? Because if that is not there as per the High Court orders, action may come on you, severe
Yes,
action.
severe action, and it would mean court might say permanently close the shop,
Permanently
because
close.
last year they did not have the consent to operate, and I instructed you all to seal this place, and now in spite of that, again the following year you all are still not having consent to operate. So this would hamper everything, and I think the main reason why the pollution control board does not want to give us the permission on the beaches is because they want us, the shack owners, to spend in 5.5 lakhs on this STP plant for each individual shack, and we don't have that money. We have spent more than almost 3.5 lakhs on our license fees up to now, plus 5.5 lakhs. If they want us to put a STP plant, why should we do that? We are trying to engage private people to suck our sewage. Kalamut Panchayat is doing a very good job by giving their tankers on the beach to take the sewage away from us.
Yes.
So I think so there's a big game in this pollution control board to sell us this STP plants, and somebody is making a commission on this.
Tell me something, Mr. Lobo. You spoke about setting up of STP plants. Is it viable to spend that much of money to have independent or individual after every shack?
No.
And is the space available?
No.
Can there be no other alternative where a group of shacks come together and set up in a common land?
See, when
Something like that.
when we are paying,
Have you explored this option
yes,
with the government?
we have explored this option. We have also told the government, when you all are collecting 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh from each shack owner, we are 365 shacks all Goa. So why don't you all set up a STP plant for the shack owners along the beach?
Yes.
So I even had a word with the chief minister last year after the court order, that, and CM had promised us that we would do something to resolve the problem by setting up some sort of pipeline where all the sewage would be collected in one place,
Yes.
and then we could suck it out.
Yeah.
Because each shack does not have large quantity of sewage. It is small, so we cannot suck every day. So we have to collect it in tanks, which they have told us to put tanks. We have put tanks, and every 3-4 days we are pumping it out.
Till now, no permanent solution has come for this. The only option is for you to set up an individual STP tank. That is what you want to say, right?
Yeah.
And it is financially not
viable.
not viable.
Yeah. But I would say nobody cares for the local Goans. They want to displace the local Goans who are in this traditional business. If the government can set up STP plants and that other thing facilities for other stakeholders, why not for the shack owners? Shack owners, we are the backbone of tourism. We have started tourism in Goa, and now do you all want to finish us? Please don't do this. We are your local people. Take care of us. If some outsider comes to you and says, we want this sort of facility, that sort of facility, you will definitely provide them those facilities. But think about local Goans. Why are you not giving us this facility?
This is one part of the thing, for what reason maybe the shacks have not come up. But there is another general opinion that this year the tourist footfall was very much less compared to the earlier years during the peak season of Christmas and New Year. Is this the reason why the shacks have not been come up the way they used to be? And is actually the tourism bubble on the way to burst? Gradual kind of a deflation?
I think so.
It deflating?
Yeah, the air from the bubble is already going out of it. There's just little bit air left in the bubble, and there are many reasons for that.
for this
Bubble to burst.
for this
Yeah.
beach tourism
Yes.
and the shack
Yes.
business you're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about?
In general, not just shack tourism,
Mhm.
the whole tourism concept of Goa is dying.
And why do you say that?
Yeah. So, in the first place, I would like to say, government is spending money to go on foreign tours to promote tourism in Goa. But are you all actually taking care of the infrastructure in Goa? What sort of facilities are you all giving for the tourists on the beaches and all tourism destinations? Is there proper toilet facilities all over the beaches? No. You have toilet facilities at one point, and the next toilet available is about 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers away. So where is the tourist going to go on the beach to
What
the toilet?
about the changing rooms?
Yes,
The
no
same.
So same thing. Wherever
Till
there is a
now
toilet,
they are not set up.
No, till now. See, I myself was sent by the tourism department on a foreign tour to Bali, Indonesia, to study their tourism, how it is been managed. Because Goa and Bali, Indonesia started tourism on the same level, almost same years.
Same lines,
But
okay.
Bali is
Far ahead.
40, 50 years ahead of Goa. So why can't Goa also be in the same line? So when we went on the study tour, we saw how it is being done, how it is operated. But the inputs given to the government was not implemented. And the reason for this, I would definitely say, is because the tourism ministers keep on changing every year. Practically every year, the director of tourism also gets transferred.
Tourism minister doesn't change every year.
Every year, but within 2 years or 3 years,
Okay,
or
yeah.
2 times in one government
Maybe the
term.
director.
Yeah, director. So I had made this strong view earlier that any director for any department should be given charge for at least 5 to 6 years, because the director is the one who wants to implement the policies for any department. So the ministers can change, but the director should be there in that place to carry forward the same ideas. Because each time a minister changes, the policy which is already progressed and gone to a next level is taken back to ground zero again.
In other words, the execution of the plans are not happening when
Yes.
they change director.
Yes.
Now let us shift our thing little to a different level. Talking about this, the overall feeling among the stakeholders of the shack owners, that less number of footfall of tourists, the business has been badly affected. Tell me something, Mr. Lobo, with all your experience, is it not viable to run a shack, say from January to May, and break even the cost of the entire infrastructure, the government notified fees, and the related cost of everything, considered, and yet make a profit?
No.
No.
You can't make a profit in 1 year's time. No business will make a profit in 1 year's time with the investment they have done. A cost of setting up a shack
Yeah.
is like the good decent shacks that we put is around 20-25 lakhs.
25 lakhs
Yes.
to set up a shack,
Yeah, because we do a lot of infrastructure building for that.
kind of beautification.
Lighting, these,
Yes,
that. So
yes.
so that takes a lot of money. A simple shack would cost anything between 2 to 3 lakhs. But a good one, anything up to 20-25 lakhs. And to recover this cost, we have to have good quality tourists. But the quality of tourists that came to Goa this year and for the last 2-3 New Year Eve is very pathetic. I myself got injury on the New Year's Eve and I had to be rushed to the hospital. I couldn't drive to the hospital, so I had to go on the bike. But when it was around 8:30 in the evening, when I was going to the hospital, there were thousands of people walking on the street and the vehicles could not drive past. Even though the police had made good traffic plan, the traffic could not move because there were thousands of people walking on the street. And what type of tourists? Cheap Indian tourists from maybe Kolhapur, Belgaum, or Maharashtra, some from Andhra.
They are not big spenders.
No,
They are
not.
totally on a string budget kind of a
Yes.
thing. Huh?
Forget the string budget. There's no string also for that. So they are on such cheap budget.
And these are people whom you find stopping their buses in open
Yes,
spaces and
yeah,
opening out their own
So these
gadgets
these
and-
thousands of people that came, none of the shack owners, nor the restaurants along the beach made any money, because these people came with their bottles of alcohol, beer cans, and small packets of biryani or chips, and they were sitting on the beach and enjoying the.
So, Mr. Lobo, in other words, their presence, though in large numbers, does not translate into economic earnings for the
Yes,
stakeholders.
yeah.
Am I right?
Yes,
This is what you want to say.
they don't bring any economy to our state. In fact, they take away everything what Goa government spends. They do, in the first place, they don't have accommodation. They don't have a decent
So
place
where
to
do
sleep.
they rest for the night?
They sleep on the open beaches. They sleep next to their cars, in the paddy fields, on the football grounds. They sleep there. And what they, afterwards in the morning, what they do? They defecate on the beach because there are no toilets. So if and when they don't have a room to stay, where will they go to use the toilet? It has to be open place. So on 1st of January, the beach was full of shit, literally human feces on the beach.
This year?
This year, everywhere along the beach, waterfront, the beach was the sandy area was
And
covered with
there
plastic.
was no one to drive them away.
Our police authority cannot
No
do.
supervision
No, no
from the Department of
there
Tourism.
there is a fine of 10,000 for drinking on the beach.
Yes.
So who has put?
It's only on paper.
On paper. Just show me any people who were arrested on the 31st
fined that
and
amount.
fined. There won't be a single receipt. They might, government might, or police department might create a fake receipt now. But I'm telling you, nobody was arrested. People were allowed to drink on the beach freely and mess on the beach.
John, that is one part of it. We are a little bit deviating from our focus of the shacks right now at the moment. Quality of tourism is another, tourist that we are getting. There is a thought, among the people that cost of employing the labor in the hospitality sector, especially the shacks, is very, exorbitant, high, and they too are in short supply, at least the locals. What do you have to say on this?
See, in the past, when I was operating my shack started in the year 77. My father started and I took over in 85. We used to always have people from Goa working in my
Locals,
shack.
yeah.
Locals.
Yeah.
Local people working in my shack. But now, to find a local person to work in the shack is very difficult. The salaries are low. So what the people are doing right now, local Goans are doing right now, is that they are trying to go migrate to foreign countries with the help of this Portuguese passport. Because there, the cost of living is a little bit expensive, but their salaries are high. They have a dignity of labor there. They can do the cheap work that they do in Goa. They can do the same cheap work somewhere in some other country and get well paid. But these salaries are not available in Goa. The jobs that these educated Goans are looking is also not available. So they have to migrate to other countries. So it's the responsibility of Goa government to create jobs and create a good salary. A Goan person working for a daily salary, he is getting about 400 rupees or 500 rupees. But a laborer from outside Goa who is working as a manual labor is getting 1,200 rupees every day. So why are the salaries of Goans not increasing?
So this is one of the reasons there is the reluctance on the local Goans to work in the shacks?
Yes,
Huh?
that is true, because the salaries are low.
And as a result, you have to import the labor from other states?
Yeah, we don't import these.
They are already available.
They are already available in the market.
And they are willing to come and work at that salaries,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
This is what you say.
Salaries, but and also second part of this thing is that Goan people don't want to be working hard in Goa. They want to go to other countries and work hard there. But
that part we will leave. We'll come back to the shacks only.
Yeah.
As the Secretary of the Welfare Society, John, tell me very honestly, are you in favor of subletting of the shacks, that policy of subletting or whatever by default that practice was there in the past? But now what we see in the new shack policy that has been introduced by the government, the penalty imposed for such subletting is very high.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 25 lakhs.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So what do you have to say on this as the Secretary of the Society?
We don't want the shacks to be sublet. We have
You're not interested.
We are not in
that
favor.
practice is not good.
Yeah, that practice is not good. We have even had a word with the Chief Minister when the high-level meeting was conducted recently.
Okay.
In end of October. And there also we said that you can increase the penalty of subletting from 10 lakhs to 25. The government said that we will. So we are in favor of that. But what we told the government is that since the policy is faulty and the allotment of shacks are done by draw of lots, which is very bad. No business in the world is done by draw of lots, but the shack license is done on draw of lots. So for this, what we have to do to safeguard ourselves, we have to put about 3 to 4 applications to win this lottery.
Okay.
So because you might be successful in getting 1 or 2 shacks, which we can give the other shack to one of our colleagues who is always running a shack. So we try to do this. But unfortunately, last year when I raised the issue with the government about corruption in the tourism department, and the government, instead of investigating who these corrupt officers were, they tried to target me and say that I have sublet a shack from somebody else, which is not subletting. But this, like I told you, when we the shack owners get 1 or 2 extra licenses, we try to help our other shack owners by giving this license to them, because it is draw of lots. And if you are lucky, you can win 2 licenses or 3 licenses also. So, and the government tried to penalize me by putting a fine of 10 lakhs. Me being a Goan, me being a general secretary, and I did not have a license in my name, but my colleague offered the license to share with me, with both of us doing the financial sharing.
But you just said that you are not very happy with this style of allotment by lots.
Yeah.
You said nowhere a business is allotted by the drawing of lots.
Yes.
For which you are not very favorable.
Yeah.
Have you expressed this thing to the government that they should kind of change this system, or fix the criteria based on certain parameters, maybe the experience and the time, the number of years they have been into this business? Can you not sit together and form a criteria and guidelines for allotting the checks rather than go by this lottery system, as you said, and which you are not in favor of?
Yes, we have brought this to the notice of the government. When our check matter went to the Supreme Court of India, the apex body, even there the judges said, why don't we have a criteria to issue this permission?
Issue this license.
So, like for example, they said experience could be one of the criteria. So they said Taj was not built by a common man. It was experienced people, experienced architects, contractors and all. So like that, if you want to run this shack business in Goa, which is the backbone of tourism industry in Goa, you all should have some sort of criteria. But the government slept over the idea given by the Supreme Court, which we also tried to tell the government so many times in our memorandums to the government, that experience should be followed. But then comes another group of people who are trying to object to this criteria of having experience. So how can you have a good judge without experience? How can you have a good journalist without experience? Can I become a journalist and question somebody? No. You are trained in this field. You have got experience. That's why you have got this position. So in a similar manner, we are trained to operate this shack for many years, and that experience should be counted as a criteria to give us our licenses.
John, we are running out of time, but I have a few more questions to you, and I want some brief answers.
Okay.
Very relevant questions. I'm coming back to this peak Christmas week season, and of course the New Year's. What, according to you, is the reason for the low turnout of tourists during this Christmas, especially the foreign tourists? Be very brief on it, because finally that is what counts as far as your business is concerned. Am I right?
Yes.
You are very much on record saying that the domestic tourists and the quality of tourists that we get during these years are not sustaining tourism in the right sense, economically. So what is the reason for less turnout this year?
One of the reasons is that the Russian war is going on. So that is
it really affecting?
It is not, it could affect only the Russian crowd coming, but what about the English, the Germans and the other people coming?
There are other countries.
Yeah, so why are people not coming from there? So they have realized you cannot come to Goa during Christmas, New Year period, because Goa is infested with domestic tourists, which are cheap and rowdy tourists. So to stop this Indian rowdy tourists coming, I would suggest the government should form a policy to say that any tourist that is coming to Goa has to have pre-booked accommodation. Like if we are going to Thailand, we are going to some other country, the first thing for the visa they say, please show your proof of accommodation.
Correct.
Booking. So that similar thing should be implemented. We have had this word with the previous ministers and the MLAs. saying that, but they objected and said this is India and everyone is free to move
Free
anywhere.
to travel.
Yes, but Goa being a tourist destination, Goa could come out with a special law to say any tourist that is coming to Goa has to have a confirmed reservation. If not, you have to, if you are staying with your relatives or friends, show us a proof that you are going to stay there and not stay on the beach and destroy the economy of Goa. The good efforts that the tourism department has put by placing dustbins and few toilets, that should not have too much stress on that.
John, this is one part of it, about overcrowding of beaches. Domestic tourists are, taking up the space. Foreign tourists generally want their space,
Yes.
They will not mingle in crowds. They want that because they come here for rest and for, adventure and giving themselves a break.
Yeah.
So they will not mingle with big crowds. That is one part of it. Now, is Goa and the beach tourism getting a bad name internationally because of the number of touts that are flourishing on our tourism spot like beach areas? The vendors who are still doing business on the beach, selling so many things, trinkets and all, as well as the garbage, the broken bottles, and you just spoke about open defecation on the beaches. Is this giving us a bad name and the good quality tourists are keeping away?
Yeah. So I'm coming.
What
back,
do you have to say on
So
that?
I'm coming back to the same point that these Indian tourists who are coming, I don't blame say everyone. These cheap Indian tourists, they are the ones who are destroying the name of image of Goa. So the foreign tourists don't want to come because the Goan beaches are getting very dirty. You walk along the streets, there's so much garbage being thrown. The panchayats are trying to do a good work by taking the garbage away from households, but wherever there are no households and there are shrubs and all, there's so much garbage getting accumulated there. Why? Because there are no proper dustbins kept on the beach. So there should be proper dustbins placed on the beach to maintain the cleanliness of the beach. So if this thing is done, we'll get more tourists. If the quality of tourists is controlled, we'll get more tourists coming. Like one more reason why the foreign tourists were objecting to something on the beach is the first time in the shack policy they have said that each shack has to have a picket fencing around the shack. So the tourists, when they came to Goa, we put up picket fencings. The tourists, when they came to Goa, said, are we kindergarten children? We studying in the classroom, and outside the classroom is a picket fence, and we have to be squashed up in the small picket fence. We don't want to come for this sort of tourism in Goa. And then we had to take away our picket fencing to give that space and privacy to the tourists.
Did the Department of Tourism or whichever government agency brought in this picket fencing take note of this?
Yes, we have highlighted this point to the Director of Tourism.
Now, even when you are given permission to lay the beach umbrellas or beach beds and all, then again there is a demarcated area.
The demarcated area
that you all are observing.
Yes, we are observing that. But the picket fencing gave a wrong idea because it looked like as if a classroom which school which is having primary children, or it looked like cages on the beach. So people were like squashed next to each other. So this sort of thing should not happen.
John, with all your experience that you have as a stakeholder in tourism and running a shack from the 70s, as you said, where do you see the Goa's beach belt tourism and especially the shack business in the next 5 to 8 years, considering the situation that you are facing now? It is a very stressful situation, not only to the shack owners as well as to the state, because the beach shacks were our symbolic item as far as the tourism was concerned, beach tourism was concerned.
So, like a shack is something unique to Goa.
Absolutely.
So, and you don't find shacks anywhere in the world. You will find restaurants made of wood, concrete, this, that, everywhere. But the temporary structured nature of the shack in Goa is something unique to the whole world. I had a pay phone in my shack many years ago when
mobiles were not there.
Yeah, when the mobiles were not there and the charter tourism had started. So I overheard a English person talking back home and said, "Oh, we just had a lunch in a shack." And they said, "What, Mama? You are eating in a shack?" Because in English term, a place where you store your unwanted stuff.
Okay.
The literal meaning of a shack, in a dirty, dingy place.
Right.
So they said to their parents, "How can you eat in a dingy place?" They said, "No, my dear, this shack means a proper restaurant on the beach which is decent and clean." So this is the type of tourist that we got, and we try to develop the shacks from a small place to a very proper decent restaurant now.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, the shack business is going to die if we carry on getting this sort of tourist. But there is some harassment coming from some departments of the government to harass the shack owners and make us leave the beach and go away. I think so. Our generation would be the last generation to run the shack on Goa beaches, and the next generation to come, our children will not want to do this business because there's too much harassment coming for them. But the shacks will be carried on by some other Indian people.
Are you serious, Mr. John, when you're
Yes.
saying this? Ours will be the last generation, going, continuing this shack business.
Yes,
This is a very
yes,
serious charge that you're
yes,
making.
Yes, of course.
And what makes you say so?
Because the harassment meted to the locals, ours, is tremendous. Every day this harassment is going on. Every day something new thing that want to do to say that you cannot put a shack because you don't have this. You cannot do a shack because you don't comply with this.
But then, for the benefit of doubt, I would like to give a different angle to it. Supposing, say, the government wants to bring in some kind of regulation, bring in some kind of systemic order, then what happens?
We want
You are in favor of regulating the whole
Yes,
thing.
yes.
You are in favor of setting up a very strong system,
Yes.
so that the future is,
So like
good to you.
even if the government does not want to put a STP plant for the shack owners, we will put it ourselves, but give us a license for at least 10 years because we are not going to recover the cost within 1 or 2
yes,
years.
I will agree with you on this. You cannot have a license for 3 years and ask you to make an investment of 5 to 7 lakhs, as you
Yes,
said,
yes,
maybe,
yes.
to set up the plant.
Yes.
Then there is maintenance of it.
Maintenance.
The
And-
other
yes, so
incidental cost and all.
plus you have to take away the sludge and all that. So there is a lot of
Absolutely.
cost involved in that.
It is a
So
recurring cost.
Yes. So if the government, when they are collecting 2-3 crores of license fees from us, if they could set up a plant for the shack owners and give we will even pay them to connect to the sewage line. So that is no problem. We are ready to pay, contribute to the economy of Goa.
You have come out very strongly on this aspect of setting up a STP plant.
Yeah.
But have you put this in the government's court?
Yes,
This request?
we have. We have spoken to the tourism minister, the chief minister about this. I have spoken to the previous environment minister, and he also said.
So you are confident something will come out?
Yes, but then when? But the previous minister said to us in that high level meeting, yes, we will do it. And I put the question, how soon? Because now it's already October and November, the sheikhs, you all are going to give the permissions. That is not your concern. We will do it. But up to now, nothing is happening.
John, while on this note, there is another, kind of impression in the minds of the local common people, that Goa is fast losing its charm as far as international tourists are concerned due to its high cost of hotel accommodation. Then the travel, the system of transportation, internal travel in Goa, the touts exorbitant taxi charges as well as the garbage menace. Whatever the authorities may say, garbage is still existing in all the crucial towns and beach sites.
All the villages, yeah.
Anytime you can go, you can see heaps and heaps there.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say on this? Because what we see is that other countries, smaller countries, like even as far as Vietnam now, is opened up its doors for tourism.
Yes.
The hotel accommodation is so cheap.
I agree with that.
Very cheap and good hotel accommodation and good.
So what happens?
So,
what
What do you have to say on this?
So once you start a tourism, you start say at a ground level, and you want to increase your prices. And the greed to increase the prices goes on every year. The cost of living also is going high in Goa.
Why is the government not regulating this?
So it was the government's duty to regulate this long time back. If the regulations were there long time back, these changes would have not come. The taxi issues, our issues, the hotel accommodation rates, the other rates would not go up. The government is giving subsidies to fishermen, but is the fish subsidized? Government is giving subsidies for paddy cultivation. Is the rice subsidized? Government was talking about selling rice at 1 rupee a kilo, but where is the prices now? The government is giving subsidies for a lot of things. I asked some help, monetary help for the shack owners, because the license is basically for somebody who is unemployed. So I questioned the Chief Minister recently now. How do you expect an unemployed youth to pay 1.5 lakh license fee plus the other recurring costs and other fees and about 3.5 lakhs? From where is this unemployed youth going to bring? You don't talk about that right now. We will discuss that afterwards. So I said, are you giving us loans to start our businesses? He said, yes, we will give EDC loans to you all to start. Up to now, nothing.
Nothing has come out.
No message has come out. At least the Director of Tourism should have sent us a letter saying you all can apply for these loans. These sort of loans are available for you. Or the government should have notified in the official gazette that so and so loans are available for the small businessmen like shack owners. You all can avail of these loans. It is still not happening. So how can we build have a business running without any loans?
While you are on this, this particular subject, John, can you tell us, if you are given a choice to make recommendations, what would be the first 3 things that you would want the government to do to sustain this shack and tourism business along the Goan beach belt? Okay. And what are the main 3 things that you would want the government to do? Come out very strongly.
Okay. Firstly, I would say to the government and especially the Department of Tourism, do not spend your money on foreign tours right now. It is crores of rupees going on every trip that you all do. These crores of rupees spent on the infrastructure of Goa. Make good roads, have beach lighting, proper access on the beach for handicaps and all type of tourists parallel to the beach. So this is one aspect where tourism has to make first before spending money on foreign tours. You all are saying Goa has got greenery, yes, but look at the infrastructure here. We don't have that infrastructure. I have traveled around the world. I have seen how beautifully the tourism is operated. There are proper accesses to the beach. There are roads going to the beach. You just name and show me how many roads are going to the beach in Kalangut. Very few, limited number. There are many stretches where there are no roads. Like one of the sewage problems is because there are no proper roads coming to the beach to collect the sewage from the beach. No proper roads for the tourism department to come and collect the garbage. But now they have done they have brought 4x4 wheel drives to collect the garbage. But what about the sewage? So if there were proper planning for tourism, it would change.
One part is setting up the required infrastructure. You said, in a place like the beach belt, wherever, all over Goa. What would be your second?
Second point is, like I said earlier, put a restriction on these cheap tourists that come. Ask for proper proof of hotel accommodation. So if this is done, 99% of our problem is resolved. On the borders or the airports or wherever, they will be stopped. If you don't have accommodation, you will be sent back or forced to book a room and show the thing.
So by doing this, you expect that the quality of tourists that you are welcoming into Goa will be of
high quality.
High quality.
Yes. The cheap tourists that come in treks, 18 people, 20 people in one small treks, which is only for about 7-seater. When they're getting out of the treks, you can count the number of people getting out. There are 15, 18, sometimes even 20 people in one small treks. And these people don't have any accommodation. They sleep on the beach, dirty the beach, and the burden comes on the Goa taxpayers for telling the government to clean up the place. And lastly, I would say good quality of tourists by giving them the facilities on the beach. Not just the beach, everywhere, very good. A good type of transport. Good transport which is available for the tourists. Proper taxis.
So that they don't have to spend exorbitant on.
And taxis should be, the rate should be minimum. They should comply with the government rates. They should not fleece the taxi the customer.
The clients.
And lastly, the water sports and other activities on the beach should be demarcated properly, because right now the water sports is done on all over the beach. In other states, in other countries, they are given allotted only a special place, and it is earmarked. So you can only do the water sports, and the rest of the beach is available for people to swim or bathe. And
they are not only marked, but there are authorities to check that they do not go beyond that. So that is important. And supervision is there.
And taking care of the touts and the vendors on the beach. It is the police department who is getting involved in bad practices. We have brought this to the notice of the even the IGP when he came, IGP when he came to Kalangut to the police station, that said this sort of touting is going on. So this will take care. We even name the places where this sort of touting is going on. Action will be taken. But on the same night, we saw it flourishing again. So the police have to be blamed for all this. The Home Ministry, which is the same, has to also take cognizance of this complaint that I am doing and take strong action against the police for not taking care of the touts and the peddlers on the beach.
So, considering all these things, what I see is the present Minister for Tourism, Honorable Minister for Tourism, Rohan Kaunte, he has a vision, for betterment of tourism during his tenure.
Yeah.
I think all you stakeholders should take him into confidence so that whatever are your issues, whatever are the difficulties faced for conduct of better tourism, quality tourism, as far as your business is concerned, put across to him so that he can streamline the things. Have you made a one-to-one approach with the tourism minister? Directors level is one thing, and down the line the other bureaucrats.
We have approached the tourism minister Rohan Kaunte. He's an intellectual person.
Absolutely.
And he's got very good ideas.
And he's got ideas, and he can understand the problem instantly. You don't have.
But the people working and giving ideas are not the right people. So he should find the right people to work along with him and follow the path which all the stakeholders are telling.
So you agree with me that our present minister has a vision?
Yes, he definitely has a vision.
But the people around him who are his advisors, that's what you want to say?
Yes, are wrong, I would say.
Absolutely.
So he should find, to fit,
are you sure about it?
Yes, to fit into his frame,
yes,
he should get good advisors.
Because he began very well.
Yeah.
He had done a complete, kind of a survey of the things.
Revamping of the whole
Revamping the system, and he's serious about changing the image that Goa is having in the moment.
Like even the director of tourism is a very good person. He is genuine and he wants to implement good ideas for tourism. Along with the minister, it should be possible. But there are the other people who are objecting to this.
So considering that you know that the minister and the director are of the same view, I think you should take maximum, optimum advantage of this.
For this reason, I would say the Chief Minister of Goa should call a high-level joint meeting with the tourism minister, all the stakeholders, the bureaucrats, and chief secretary, the tourism secretary, and get their views on what to do to save the tourism bubble which is bursting in Goa. This bubble has to be protected. More good air should be put into the bubble to inflate it again. So it should not be deflated but inflated again.
So you still have a hope against hope.
Yes.
That if you step in now, when I say when you step in, meaning the authorities step in now in the right earnest, you can still hold on to it.
Yes.
And bring the level of tourism back to what it was.
But it is with government alone cannot do this. It is we the stakeholders who have to join hands with the government. If we join hands with the government, it can change the whole prospect of tourism. And I definitely feel that it is not, Goa is not lost. It is getting lost, but it is not lost. We can save it. It is with the true vision of different the ministers and the chief minister and the stakeholders, it can change.
So you're positive about that? I'm
positive only if the government comes clear on their vision. They have a vision, but the vision should be clear.
So what I see in you as a stakeholder, you and your other colleagues in this business are willing to work as a team with the government.
To work as a team with the government.
I think on this positive note, we will end this discussion here, and I wish you all the best, Mr. John. Thank you for coming to the studios.
Thank you.
So this was John Lobo, the secretary of Sheikh Owners Welfare Association, a society that he's running. He's made some relevant points as far as beach belt tourism in Goa is concerned, what needs to be done, what is actually affecting quality tourism. All those who are watching this program, let's hope that something positive comes out of it. So keep watching your favorite channel, the CCR TV channel. Thank you.